Virgil couldn't help but smile. He knew how much being grandparents meant to them. His younger sister had married her childhood sweetheart a few years ago, after they both finished medical school. Last year, Lee and Chad had opened a medical complex in Houston and were doing just great. "I need to call Lee and Chad to congratulate them. Congratulations to you and Mom as well," Virgil said. "Thanks. I'd like to spend more time in the Keys as well as in Houston. Plus, I promised your mom we'd do more international travel. She really enjoyed that Mediterranean cruise I took her on last year." His father leaned back in his chair and studied him. From a close scrutiny, Virgil got the feeling there was more to come regarding his father's pending retirement. "My decision to retire depends on you, Virgil." Virgil lifted a brow. "How does your decision to retire depend on me?" His father leaned forward, and Virgil knew this would be one of those Matthew Bougard deeply serious moments. Virgil wasn't sure if he was mentally prepared for it this early in the morning. "You have a reputation, Virgil." He didn't have to wonder what his father was alluding to. It was well known around Charlotte and the surrounding areas that Virgil Matthew Bougard was an ardent womanizer. As far as he was concerned, he had no reason not to be if that was the lifestyle he chose. He wasn't married, nor was he in an exclusive relationship with any woman. So in his defense, he could do whatever the hell he wanted to do and with whomever he chose. "I'm a 35-year-old single man, Dad. There's no reason I shouldn't enjoy female company whenever I want it." "Well, there's that incident with Whitney Hilton that won't go away, as much as I wish it would. Marv Hilton hasn't forgotten about it." Virgil released a deep sigh. That had been almost 2 years ago. Why couldn't the man get over it? Would that be the scandal that haunted him forever? Marv Hilton had been one of their biggest clients, and Whitney was his 25-year-old daughter. Her father had brought her along on one of his business trips to Hawaii when BE had held a meeting at the same time. "She came to my hotel room. I didn't go to hers." "I know, but to Marv, none of that matters. You slept with his daughter, and as her father, he was livid." Virgil recalled the man had been so livid that he'd dropped his account with Bougard Enterprises. Drawing in a deep breath, he could now admit when he'd gotten out of the shower and found Whitney naked and stretched out on his bed, he should have tossed her out of his room. But that option had quickly left his mind when she'd proceeded to give him one badass blowjob. Her father had found out about the incident, which Virgil suspected had been intentional. Whitney wanted to get back at her father for forcing her into an engagement with some rich old oil baron from Texas. "That was almost 2 years ago, Dad." "Yes, but Marv Hilton still wants blood, especially since her fiancé called off the wedding. Marv blames you for that. He swears his daughter was a virgin up to that time and she was saving herself for the wedding. However, I'm sure you know better." Yes, Virgil definitely knew better since Whitney had boasted about her very active sex life that night, and the only thing she was saving was herself from being forced into marrying a man old enough to be her father. "You've done a great job running things in my absence, Virgil." His father intruded into his thoughts. "And there's no doubt in my mind the company would be in good hands if I were to retire, but we have to do something about cleaning up your image, especially if we want Paul Wyman's business. He and I have talked, but he's heard about you from Hilton, and Wyman has 3 daughters he's concerned about." Virgil's gaze narrowed. "You make me sound like someone who goes after anything in a skirt." "Well, that's the impression that's out there, and Hilton is milking it for all it's worth. Such an image could eventually hurt the company." Virgil stood, walked over to the window, and stared out at downtown Charlotte. It was the second week in August, and already the sun was beating down, guaranteeing it would be another hot day. Drawing in a deep breath, he slowly turned around. Knowing his father, Virgil was certain the old man had a plan, one he'd thought out thoroughly. That's the way Matthew Bougard worked. If there was a problem, he came up with a solution. Virgil just hoped it was one he could